So that's it for now. I mean, we'll get into it here. And let's go directly to our first slide. So just so you all know, a lot of this information is coming from our annual housing market outlook. So RE/MAX Canada puts out a housing market outlook for all the different regions in Canada. If you'd like a full copy of it, I can send you the download link, or I can provide you a hard copy if that's what you prefer. So it does cover all the different regions across the country, province by province. Our broker of record, Conrad Zerini, actually fills in the Hamilton-Burlington section and contributes a little bit to the other sections as well. So most of the information is coming from our RE/MAX Housing Outlook for 2018, which does take a look back on 2017 and a look ahead into 2018 as to what might be happening. So we'll have a quick look there. And so what did happen in Hamilton-Burlington? So in Hamilton-Burlington, we are predicting a 15% overall price increase, average price increase. This is a prediction because December's not over yet. So this report came out about a couple weeks ago. So it's just sort of looking at the trending numbers. So that number, average price number of $573,594 for 2017 is an estimate. But so we'll have the more firm numbers once January rolls around, and we'll have a look back at that as well. But that is for Hamilton-Burlington. So that again includes the core city of Hamilton, all of Burlington, Ancaster, Flamborough, Dundas, even Grimsby and Stony Creek and all that sort of stuff. So it's a pretty wide area, Flamborough as well. So that average price is not necessarily indicative of the value of your home, but it is a good indicator on a yearly basis as to where the housing market is going. There is a year to year, there is a big enough mix of housing from all these different areas that the average price is a decent indicator as far as where the market is trending. And as you can see, from 2016 to 2017, we saw about a 15% price increase on the average price. That is compared to 2015 to 2016, where we saw closer to a 20% increase. So that's 15% on top of the 20% or so that we got from 2015 to 2016, and the increases that we had in the year prior to that. So we'll get into the actual numbers for just Hamilton in a few slides, but we're going to just sort of take an overall look as to what's happening here. So our next slide is here. Future trends in Hamilton-Burlington. What we're looking at for 2018, or what RE/MAX Canada is predicting, and my broker of record in particular, is approximately a 4% price increase to the average price in 2018. So that's significantly less than we've seen in the last couple of years. We are looking at potentially a more balanced market, so a lot more listings on the market, which is good. It takes a lot of the pressure off the market. It takes a lot of the pressure off the people who are losing a lot in competitions or bidding wars, as you saw throughout 2017 and into 2016. So we're going back into a market that's a lot more like it was about 4 or 5 years ago. 4% is on the low side. It is a conservative number. I'm not sure if I completely agree with that number. I tend to be a little bit more bullish, a bit more positive with the numbers, and I'm thinking myself that the numbers will be slightly higher. I don't know if we're going to achieve the double-digit growth that we've seen the last little while, but I think the growth will be a little bit better than that for 2018. But again, that's an average price. So it just says that the market is still trending in a positive direction, but not quite as rapidly as it has been the last couple of years. And again, it's going to be fueled, according to the RE/MAX report, by first-time buyers and retirees. And as we're going to see, what that does is the first-time buyers come into the market, the retirees move into their retirement homes, generally smaller than the ones that they've been living in as they grow their families throughout the years. And that opens up a lot of different types of housing in between for people to sort of move up. So if you've already coming out of your first-time home, which is generally a smaller home, you can move up into larger two-story detached homes and that sort of thing, getting in from the 1,700 square foot home up into the 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 square foot homes in that middle market there. And so overall, this is kind of what we're looking at for the Hamilton-Burlington market. Again, you're looking at the 2017 estimate as 573,000, and by the end of 2018, we're looking at that number being closer to 600 at 596,000 with that 4% increase. That's generally where it's been trending, and you can see all the way back to 2014, the trend has been positive all the way throughout, where the average price back in 2014, seems like forever ago, was 388,000. I'd started in real estate just 2 years before that, so I've seen the prices grow, and I've seen the demand for housing in Hamilton increase over all that entire period. If we look more closely, here's what we think is going to be happening. So first-time buyers coming into the market, who are they? they're generally speaking single millennials or young couples. So millennials being people, generally speaking, under 30, under 35-ish, 20-ish to 35-ish sort of age group. A lot of single people moving in, especially from the GTA, which you're going to see is fueling our condo market, and a lot of single young couples just getting their start. And that's typically who the first-time home buyers are. Their price range, as we can see, is generally between $300,000 and $350,000. Once upon a time, that was closer to $200,000 to $250,000, and before that, when I purchased my first home, it was $130,000, and that was a very long time ago, about 20 years ago. Typically, first-time buyers coming into Hamilton, looking at those homes in that price range, are purchasing smaller single-family detached homes. So that's where the demand is going to be. Continuing on that trend, we're also going to have a quick look at the condo market, what's happening in the condo market. And typically the demographic for the condo market is, again, those single millennials coming in from out of town and people retiring. So a lot of retirees are choosing condominiums as a good option, moving into housing where the exterior of the home is being taken care of, whether that's a single apartment style condo or a townhouse type condo. And there's a lot more bungalow type townhouse condos being built. And basically in those sort of adult living or adult lifestyle type communities, they don't call them retirement homes anymore so much. All the exterior maintenance is taken care of. Snow removal, grass cutting. If there's ever any issues with windows and doors and roofs, that's all being taken care of by the condo. And people are seeing that as a really good option going forward, especially in their retirement years. They really just don't want to have to bother with a lot of that stuff. So it is very much a lifestyle choice. And so they'll move into these type of living arrangements and then have more time for travel, not having to worry about the exterior of the home while they're away traveling. So that's a very good option there. And as we've seen, the pressure coming in from the GTA, the condo market in Hamilton from 2016 to 2017 increased approximately 12% on the average price. That is very healthy growth, and that's fueling a lot of the overall average price increase. Can anybody guess what the fastest growing market in Ontario was? So if you take all of our major markets, the GTA, Hamilton, Durham, even up north in North Bay and Sudbury and out in Ottawa and Kingston and all that sort of stuff, which market in Ontario had the largest of those major markets had the largest average price increase percentage? It's just down the road from us here in Hamilton in Niagara, surprisingly enough. Niagara Falls, from 2016 to 2017, we're estimating that they'll end up with an average 23% price increase in their average price. That's a little bit more than even Hamilton did last year, and it's on fire. And most people working in real estate in Hamilton have seen this. Essentially what's happening is a lot of people that are being priced out of the market here in Hamilton are moving to Niagara looking for those more affordable homes. So they're just going a little bit down the QEW and looking for those homes with the average price for a detached home there or a freehold property there is still under $400,000. That's compared to Hamilton, which is much closer, as we saw Hamilton-Burlington, closer to $6,000, but actually in Hamilton proper, it's closer to $480,000 to $490,000. So they're looking for more affordable housing down the road, and as they continue to expand the transit network down the QEW all the way to Niagara, those options become more viable as people can still make it back into Hamilton for work or all the way into Toronto if necessary. So that's what's happening there. That's the fastest growing market by far in Ontario this year. The GTA saw some huge price increases, even up in North Bay and Sudbury. Sudbury was pretty much flat for the year, but basically that is the area in Hamilton where the highest growth has occurred. And so what happened in Niagara? It's being fueled by first-time buyers. Typical is young couples. You don't really see the millennials going out that way yet, the single millennials. They're liking to stay closer to Toronto, so they're either going into the Hamilton area, Burlington area, they're going up north a little bit, West End or East End. Where's Durham? I can't remember. Durham region is a little bit northeast of Toronto in that area there, or they're even going out to Guelph, Kitchener, or Waterloo, wanting to stay within that sort of 45-minute to an hour commute to Toronto. So the single millennials are not a factor in the Niagara market. And same with in the condo market, the retirees are mainly fueling the condo market in Niagara Falls. And again, there's the absence of those single millennials driving the market there. And even though those young first-time buyers are absent from the market, you're still seeing that 23% growth. But there's an end in sight, it looks like, and we'll get into that as well. So as we kind of look further as to what we think is going to happen in the Agri Market, we're pretty much thinking it's going to be flat, or at least that's Remax Canada's estimate for this year. We'll probably see a little bit of growth there. Again, I think that number sort of being a little bit conservative, but they're looking at the Niagara region basically holding on to those greater than 20% gains that they made from 2016 to 2017, but really not increasing much beyond that. Now, one of the limiting factors in the Niagara region is employment. There are some employers out there. A lot of the manufacturing type jobs, textile type jobs, auto manufacturing type jobs all disappeared a number of years ago, and they really haven't been replaced by much. They've got Brock University there, Niagara College in the area. The casinos are out in that Niagara sort of way and stuff like that. But there really hasn't been an influx of a lot of new employment in those areas yet to really support sustained the growth the way that has in Hamilton. The unemployment numbers in Hamilton are amongst the lowest in the country, and the average household income growth is the highest in the province for the last 2 years or so. So that's not really happening in Niagara yet. So we're expecting the house prices to stay pretty stable there. So as we grow, the prices in Niagara actually look that much more attractive, which was why I think we will see some growth there. But overall, they're projecting for a pretty flat market in Niagara as far as average price goes. So if we get into Hamilton, we can start looking at the condo market here in Hamilton. So here's what's happening just in Hamilton. So this is just basically including the city of Hamilton, and that includes also Ancaster, Flamborough, so the proper amalgamated city of Hamilton, but does not include Burlington. That makes a huge difference because prices are much higher in Burlington, so it does skew the numbers if you do include them with Hamilton. So I try to leave them out when we're looking just here. So as you can see, we're looking at the numbers from 2015, 16, and 17, and every year the prices are higher than the previous year. So this is a month-by-month look at how it goes throughout the year, and this is the average price for residential condominiums. And now this includes both apartment-style condominiums and townhouse condominiums all in one category. So we're just looking at the overall average price, and it's gone from about $250,000 on average in 2015 up to $336,000 here in 2017. And that's, again, just estimating the numbers for December, where we're at so far in December. So a significant growth. We've seen about a 10 to 11% growth in that condo market just in Hamilton, when you're looking just in Hamilton from 2016 to 2017. And that growth we're predicting is going to continue for the remainder of the year. And what we're going to do is actually look at the individual numbers. So if we split out the apartment units versus townhouse condos, what we're looking at, the average sale price for an apartment condo is around that $248,000 mark. And the price per square foot, which is generally speaking how people price apartment type condos, especially if they're coming from Toronto, they're sort of used to looking at things in that way. In Hamilton, people from Hamilton don't tend to do that so much, but it is a valuable number to have a look at when you're trying to figure out pricing for condominium units in apartment buildings, and it's about $303 per square foot. Townhouse units are more expensive at $350,000 on average for a townhouse condo, but the per square foot price is lower at about $278 per square foot. At least it was for 2017. And that's, again, including Hamilton Center, East Mountain, and just sort of the proper core city of Hamilton for condominiums. And if we have a look at the residential freehold prices, so here you go. Here's a Hamilton residential freehold average prices for the year. As you can see, we started off the year really strong with February, the second month there, peaking at about $597,000 as an average price. And then we saw declines after that. It does not dip below 2016 levels at all. The peak level in 2016 was $488,000, and the absolute bottom average price in 2017 was $489,000. So just about $1,000 on average above the highest point in 2016, and then now it's creeping back up to just under $500,000 towards the end of December, and significantly higher over the numbers in 2015. What you're noticing, though, if you have a closer look, is a severe decline after the spring market, or towards the end of the spring market in 2017, and there's a number of reasons for that. If we have a look, as soon as I pull that slide up, right about there is the end of the spring market. That's July. So the vertical dotted line there represents July, and as you can see, normally by that time of year, towards the end of June, if you're looking at 2016, the numbers kind of taper off. In 2015, they kind of stayed steady throughout, but didn't really see any more increases once the spring market was over. But in 2017, we started to see a rapid decline right at the end of March, at the end of May, going into April, and as you can see, there was something that happened right about here where the lightning bolts and the question mark are. That was April 23rd, 2017. And what happened, do you ask? Well, I'll show you. She happened. The Ontario government decided to step in and introduce their fair housing rules with rent controls and a whole bunch of other things. And the rules themselves really didn't impact the market all that much, but the media hype surrounding it and the fear, as you can see my little illustrated guy there, really did take a toll on the market. So if you have a look back, you'll see that after that announcement on April 23rd, the market just took a really steep decline going into at the end of May and into June and July. Media spin has been the story of 2016, 2017. Pretty much we're used to the media sort of taking a negative view of real estate. I mean, I've been in real estate for just finishing up 6 years now. I've been following the real estate market for a lot longer, probably about closer to 8 to 10 years now. I used to work in doing renovations and a few other things and flips and helping people with that sort of thing. And so for at least the last 10 years or so, for sure since the recession in 2008, 2009, where the U.S. housing market basically collapsed, they've been predicting the utter complete downfall of the Canadian housing market, and it just hasn't happened. But the media spin does tend to scare people. The market being as busy as it was last spring, the media frenzy really picked up. You couldn't go more than a day without seeing some kind of news headline either online or in the newspapers about the impending bubble's going to crash and soaring prices and not being able to afford homes and that sort of thing, pretty much on a daily basis. And they were very quickly followed by stories about, talking about the crash on one side and then talking about how the condo market is just on fire and people are loving condos and buying condos and that sort of thing, and everything seems rosy. I'm expecting more of the same in 2018. Generally speaking, this time of year, end of December, beginning of January, you've got the people sort of on TV and online, the pundits basically coming out saying, hey, you know what? That crash that we said was going to happen this past year, I guess it didn't happen. I guess the market's not so bad after all. And then towards the beginning of 2018, they start the predictions again about how the market's going to crash in 2018. So it remains to be seen. We think we're going to have a lot calmer market than we've had in the last couple of years. Predicting this spring will probably be about as busy, not so much as a 2017 spring, but somewhere between the 2015 and 2016 levels in terms of sales numbers. That's going to still drive competition in the most popular areas. If you have a really nice house in a really nice area, there's still going to be people that are dying to buy it. A lot of them will be coming from the GTA. With the new mortgage rule changes, it really only affects people who are going for a 5-year fixed mortgage, who are really pushing the limit of what they can afford. So they've been approved for, say, $600,000, and they're looking at homes that are $590,000 to $600,000. So the new changes to the stress tests and the coming in the mortgage rules on January 1st is going to affect those buyers. And what I think will happen is that we'll continue to see people from Hamilton going towards the Niagara region, but those people that are leaving for Niagara being replaced by people coming from the GTA. So Hamilton being sort of in that middle zone with good employment, a wide variety of housing, affordable housing, like a range of, you can still purchase homes, even though the average price is high, you can still purchase homes anywhere from $200,000 up to $1 million. There's a pretty wide range there. There's a lot of condominium options and freehold townhome options as well. So because of that, I think we're going to have the balanced market that we're predicting. I think it's still going to be very busy during the spring, but then it'll cool down for the summer and just be an average market. So the overall impact of that will be lower or slower growth in that single digit range, probably higher than 4%, I think, but not quite so high as 9 or 10%. And just a balanced market going forward, which is kind of nice. It gives people room to breathe. It gives people room to actually go out and look at a number of homes that might be suitable for them without having to sort of rush into something as to whatever's available, that kind of thing, and fight over it and that sort of thing, which is better for everybody, really. So that's my take on it. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We've got a whole bunch of people watching. Brian Filippetto's in. Hey, how you doing, man? Nice to see you. Colleen Aldo's in there. Hey, Paul Chima's even in there. Look at that. So hopefully that was useful to y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Like I said, if anybody can guess this, guess who these guys are, put it down in the comments below, and I'll send you a prize, something you might actually like. In the meantime, I will let you know that if you are online looking for me, I am the Geeky agent at RE/MAX. I am pretty much everywhere. So you can find me on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Pinterest. If you want to get a hold of me, please feel free to give me a text or a call. Call me at 289-237-9896. You can email me, Tony@thegeekyagent.com. This has been RE/MAX Geek TV by The Geeky Agent. And you can also find me at thegeekyagent.com or HamiltonLifestyleSearch.com. So feel free to have a look me up anywhere there. Get in touch with me, have a chat. If you want to chat about the Hamilton housing market, what your home might be worth, and all that sort of stuff, please feel free to give me a chat. Give me a text or a call, and we'll chat. That's what I meant to say. And until next time, I appreciate you all. I love you all tuning in and supporting this channel and everything that I try to do. I really do appreciate it. I love you all, and I hope you have a great evening, a great New Year's if I don't get a chance to get on here and talk to you before then. And drive safe, be careful, all that sort of stuff. Have a lot of fun. Have a happy New Year and a great 2018. And as always, I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.